see you. We are so proud of how far you have come. You are able to move through your daily life from the perspective of love, gratitude, and compassion for everyone and everything. This is where you truly embody the highest version of yourself. We are the Pleiadians, and we are always here with you.
For everyone watching and listening, welcome to part 2. In part 1, Rebecca told us about her journey with spirituality and with channeling, who she channels, the Pleiadians, and we are about to channel her galactic family members right now.
Awesome. I love that so much. I love that intro. That's so great. Okay, so I'm going to bring through a collective message. They're here right now. I just have to close my eyes and I will bring through whatever message they have for the collective. Okay? Yes, hello and greetings to everyone who is here and listening to us now. We are so grateful for the opportunity to come through and support you at this most exciting time on your planet. We have many, many messages that we intend to bring through over time, and everything you will receive and hear in its own divine timing. The message that we would love to be able to bring through today is one of love and gratitude. We would also like to bring in an energy of compassion. If you are able to move through your daily life from the perspective of love, gratitude, and compassion for everyone and everything, this is where you truly embody the highest version of yourself. We see so much conflict on your planet, both at the collective level and within each and every one of you. This individual conflict causes so much unnecessary pain and struggle. We encourage you to turn your energy and your efforts within to your heart space and remove or release any anger, resentment, and fear and replace it with love, gratitude, and compassion. When we operate from a place of love, there is no room for any of the lower vibrational emotions that no longer serve you. We encourage you to allow whatever lower vibrational emotions are coming up within you to run their course within your physical body. We assure you that as you allow your emotions to move through your body, they will leave on their own. There isn't anything you need to consciously do. Remember that emotions are simply energy, and energy is designed to move. If you allow the emotions to move through you at their own pace and on their own course, they will leave you. This is truly what processing your emotions looks like, and many of us have not learned how to do this. We encourage you to acknowledge and validate any of these emotions and allow them to take their course. They will leave you when they are done. We promise you that once you are through this processing process, you will only feel what you truly are, which is love and light. And then you will be able to operate from this space. We encourage you to continue to reach out to us as we are here supporting you all the way. We love you all very much and we see you. We are so proud of how far you have come. We are the Pleiadians and we are always here with you. Thank you again for this opportunity to bring through this message, and we will speak with all of you soon.
It's amazing. That's very synchronistic because they actually answered one of my questions that I had for them. And that was, how does it look like to connect with our higher selves and embody our higher self? And it's through the surrender to our emotions and the process of releasing them. And it's beautiful how they said that they will release whenever whenever they're ready to release. It's not something that we have to force or fight. It's just
yeah. They have explained to me in the past that energy has, like, emotions have their own consciousness, and they know what they're supposed to do, right? And what we have learned as human beings is to force the emotions down, and what we're really doing is making them stay with us. And we are asking them to act against their true nature, which is to move through us in a natural process and leave us, right? And so we're stuffing them and going, no, you can't leave. And that's that harboring of all of that heavy, dense energy that so many of us have been holding on to for forever, you know? And all we have to do is go, okay. And the reason that it's so hard for us to do that is because a lot of the emotions are horribly uncomfortable. And we don't want to experience that discomfort. It's another one of the things that we didn't learn as children on this planet that they do learn in the Pleiades, for example. We don't learn how to tolerate uncomfortable emotions. Our parents quickly try to fix us or try to redirect us, and we don't learn those kinds of skills. And so when it comes up as an adult, we'll do anything we can to get away from those uncomfortable emotions, even if it is counterproductive by stuffing them down and keeping them with us, right?
Okay. So could I ask them, what does it feel like in your body to let yourself release those emotions?
Yeah, definitely. When we talk about releasing these specific emotions, we would encourage you to imagine yourself moving outside of your body, your consciousness moving outside of your body, and observe yourself, objectively observe yourself processing through these emotions. You may feel a tenseness in your chest or a tightness in your stomach or a raspiness in your throat. You may feel pressure in your head. For each individual, it is different as these emotions come up, as they are all individually tied to different chakras in your chakra system. However, we assure you that if you objectively observe yourself having these emotions, for example, saying, I am feeling fear, I am feeling shame. If you just validate and allow yourselves to have them, they will leave your body in their own course. However, if you subjectively observe yourself having these emotions, what you tend to do is attach a story with your mind to the emotion, which allows those emotions to persist within your energy body. In a sense, it is keeping them trapped. And so taking some deep breaths and breathing through the emotions, allowing them to work through your chakra system as they need to, and just observe them objectively. Don't attach a story to them. And this will be the way that you can process through them as easily as possible.
Okay, they answered my question to a T. And when they're talking about like where it is in your body and how you feel it is exactly what I was like wanting them to answer, and it was perfect, because I usually feel my emotions or anxiety or fear through a tightness in my chest, and that was one that they mentioned. So it's just about being like, okay, I'm feeling this feeling right now, and being objective about it, and not exactly what they said, going into this storyline of how can I fix it? What do I need to do? How can I blah, 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 do this, do that? It's just gonna go on its own.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of us who tend to really need to like get down to the source of where the emotion is coming from. And at this point in the Ascension game, it's really not necessary. We just have to allow that stuff to purge out. It just doesn't serve us anymore. That trauma, those stored emotions, that's not who we are in this now moment. We are ascending beings or ascended beings, you know, depending on how you look at it. And we don't necessarily need to dig and dig and dig. Always follow your intuition on that. If you feel like you need more answers, then follow your intuition and dig. But typically we don't have to. We can just, and we when we attach that story, that's where we start doing the digging, right?
Right. So what would they say about where we are in the ascension process right now on Earth?
I check in on the ascension daily. I mean, in the Akashic records, I check in with them, the Galactic Federation. You know, the message consistently is that we are doing an amazing job on the planet. You know, they're not very critical at all. That's just, they're coming from such a, you know, an enlightened energy. They would say that we are still struggling with distractions, and that is something that is preventing us from moving forward even more quickly. But yeah, if there's specific questions that you have about Ascension, I could definitely do my best to answer those. But the general message is we are so proud of you. You guys are doing amazing. And there's also a beautiful, always a consistently beautiful acknowledgement and validation of how hard it is to be human and how proud they are of us doing the job that we're doing down here.
Yeah, and for you leaving your life in Pleiades to come here.
You know, it's interesting. I've looked into like, why did I want to leave? Like, why didn't I want to stay? And I guess on some timeline, I probably did stay, not on this timeline. And what they said was I was like working kind of as an apprentice underneath these two beings who I'm communicating with, we are communicating with today. And the way they showed it to me, they kind of showed it to me energetically. They haven't like explained it in words to me. And the way they showed it to me, and it's easier to see an entire story that way than to have it explained in words. When you start working with energy, you find that it's actually easier to understand concepts and stories and narrative in that way. And so the way they showed it to me was that I grew above and beyond what they were doing, and my soul was being called to do more. And so I decided to sort of leave that. They're using a specific word that I don't know. Faction of almost like training that we were doing. I decided to leave. Because I wanted to go and support Earth, and they agreed to support me from where they were, knowing that they would be still in that incarnation during that time. So I really hope I'm getting it right. This is what I've seen. So there's always a chance that I'm getting some of the details wrong, but you know, I revisit this stuff over and over again because I like to make sure I'm clear on it. So
yeah, that's so cool that you're able to, you know, glean that information from them and literally hear them in your mind. And so regarding back to the ascension process, a specific question about, you know, how we can help ourselves get there would be connected to talking to your spirit guides and being able to hear them audibly. So it reminds me of, you know, whenever you were a child and you would hear them, but you just didn't recognize that it was them you were hearing and not just yourself. So would they have any advice on connecting to your spirit guides and discerning the difference between you and them?
So I actually just channeled a video directly about this, like earlier maybe even like on the weekend, where it's specifically, and I'm going to channel them because I feel like they have more to say on that, but it was specifically about discerning between your own inner voice and telepathic message. So if anyone's interested in that, I would go and look at that channeled message because it was specifically about that, because one of my followers had asked that specific question. I thought it was a great question, so I asked them. So please, anyone, if you have questions, I tend to like run out of ideas, and then they're like, whatever you want to talk about. And I'm like, oh God. So like, I need sometimes ideas. But yeah, I feel like they're going to have something to say though, specifically about the way in which you receive information. So I'm going to just channel that through for you guys. Yes, exactly. The way in which an individual channels information is going to be different from one person to the next. Rebecca is extremely clairvoyant and clairaudient, and as she has practiced her skills, she has become more and more masterful with them. However, we each have our own individual gifts. Some may receive messages clairvoyantly, and their spirit guides understand that this is the strongest way that they can receive clearly the information that their spirit guides are trying to give them. Others may receive it clairaudiently. You may also receive it through your heart center in a knowing or in a feeling. We understand that at times this can be very challenging to navigate, but we encourage you to set your intentions with how you want your spirit guides to communicate with you if you want to practice a particular skill. For example, you may say, please deliver this answer in words, or please deliver this answer in visual terms. We understand that oftentimes many of these different avenues are all at play and operating at once, and it can take time and patience. But we promise you, as with any muscle that you exercise, with time, you will become more and more proficient at clearly hearing or understanding in whatever way makes sense for you what the messages are from your spirit guides.
Thank you so much for channeling them. That was amazing. I loved hearing them. And as I said, this is my first time talking with the channel and hearing channeled beings. So this feels like a very special moment for me.
And you can kind of like tell the difference in the pacing, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a different, like it's my voice, but it's like there's a pacing to it that's, right? I don't even know. So you kind of have to hear it.
It's like it's just different. There's something, it's not, you can really kind of tell that it's not you. It's something different than you. It's not like how your voice normally sounds or how you're talking.
It's almost like more proper. Like I don't know how to like, your
words a little bit more. Or they are enunciating.
Yeah, I'm articulating better, and
you use
yeah,
the
it's
you
like
didn't even know faction.
It's like the A+ student version of me.
I love that. Okay, so at the beginning, before we started this interview, you said something about my star system. You could look into that.
Yes. Okay, so we will look into your Akashic records and see what your star lineage is, because you are most definitely a star seed. I can feel it in your energy. I felt it as soon as we got on. And I'm curious where, because I couldn't clearly see right away. So that's why I wanted to like dig a little bit more. And then also I feel like this will activate some things within you, some memories. And it won't be like, when I say activate memories, it's not like I remember that up here. It's more of like a knowingness memory. It's like, yes, that is true. That happened. And it activates things within you to help you move forward on your journey here on Earth right now. So let's just see what your guides have to say about your star lineage, or let's see if any galactic family comes through. I had a feeling you had Arcturian guides with you. I didn't want to say it until I was like 100% sure, but I had a feeling. So I have Arcturians here if you want me to channel them for you.
Yeah.
I don't know where, so like what dimension these guys are from. Feels like a collective of 5, 9, and 12D Arcturian energy. Interesting. I never know what I'm going to get here, Lily, so we just kind of go with it and, we kind of see what it is. Yes, we have been with Lily for many, many years, much longer than she would ever be aware of. We are so honored to have the opportunity to communicate with her in this way. We do verify that Lily has a very strong background in Arcturus and our star system. She has a strong background with lifetimes working in advanced technology and communications, which is one of the reasons that she has decided to create this podcast that we are currently broadcast on. We love everything that she is doing in her life. We love her constant inquisitions and curiosities, and we encourage her to reach out to us directly so that we may support her on a more conscious level.
Okay.
There you go. So it looks like you've got a strong Arcturian background.
Okay.
I do see a few past lifetimes on Earth, so it looks like you decided to get into kind of a bit of a karmic evolutionary soul period, and that's one of the reasons that we would come to Earth, is to go through those karmic experiences. They're not really available on fifth dimensional planets because karma requires much denser energy. You kind of need the highs and the lows, and it's only something that you can really get within our galaxy on this planet. So it's a serious deal coming down here. There's a lot of polarity in the experience that we can have.
Incredible. I would love to begin the process of connecting with them, with the Arcturians. I have no idea who they are. I know you mentioned them in part 1. So what would it look like to begin trying to connect with them?
So I would just get into a quiet space. You don't have to be in any deep meditation or anything. I'm not a deep meditation person. I have never been, my guides are kind of laughing at me. They're like, well, some people need to get into deep meditation. So, get into a quiet space and simply set the intention. Everything is intention. So set the intention that you are calling forward your Arcturian guides. And you can ask specific questions, or you can ask if they have general messages for you. You can really just play around with it. There aren't any rules. They are just elated that we are thinking to connect with them because we have been asleep almost our entire lives, and for many lifetimes, many of us. And so for us to be awake and aware and calling on them is so exciting for them. So they just want us to play around with it and gain a deeper connection through practice.
Okay, well, I think that is what many people are doing now. I really feel the energy of just, we're all waking up, we're all asking questions, we're all wanting to connect to who we are, remember where we come from. Yeah, and
yes,
be the embodiment, to let the higher vibrations embody in us. And we're willing to do the work. Like, we are stripping off all of the limiting beliefs, all of the programming, and going into ourselves. Yeah, I feel it.
Absolutely. And they're also reminding us, as you're talking, they're saying it's not just your own practice, but the energy on the planet and the increased energy on the planet, not only from our central sun, but from the galactic beings who are supporting us, the benevolent galactic beings who are supporting us. They are creating an atmosphere or an environment where we really can push sort of beyond our comfort zone as far as like connecting with them and stepping into like our power as divine creators.
Is there any last words that the Pleiadians would like to say, or the Arcturians?
Love yourselves as though there is nothing else to love. if you are able to truly love yourself, you will love everything around you, everyone around you. And you will see that you are loving all of source creation. Everything is connected. Everything is you. That's the message, and that feels like it's from your Arcturian guides.
Okay. Well, that's extremely connected to exactly what I've been thinking the past 2 weeks, is just loving everything and loving myself more. So
it's so challenging in the environment that we have decided to incarnate into, and that is part of the plan, is how do we get back to who we really are in an environment that is trying to have us be the absolute opposite.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for channeling the Pleiadians and the Arcturians and being my first channel. I love this.
Oh my gosh, it is honestly such a pleasure. You asked me such amazing questions, and I really, really enjoyed it.